sports or travel or food. Now, this camera is going to be for some, and for some, it is not. I'm a YouTuber and I'm a food photographer and video maker. I bought the Blackmagic 6K Pro for that, for my A-roll, for my B-roll, and for my food videos. However, there are a few more reasons why I bought this camera. This being the very first reason right here. I have 4 lenses that I use for everything. I use the same 4 lenses for my still images that I use for my videos. I like to keep my kit light. I had thought about buying the Canon R5 or maybe a Sony camera, but I didn't want to buy a brand new camera and then have to turn around and drop a serious amount of cash on a whole new line of lenses. The Blackmagic 6K Pro kept the EF mount. With this camera, I don't need to use an adapter. I can use the same great lenses that I already own. There is a crop, but I'm kind of used to that by now with the Fujifilm, and the crop on the 6K is not that bad. However, when you switch to 4K, and I hate to talk about negatives up front, but there is quite a significant crop, and I wanted to bring that up because I know it's important to a lot of people. Here's the Canon 24mm lens on my full frame camera. Here it is on the 6K Pro at 6K, and here it is at 4K. It's not the end of the world, and I don't think there's much they can do about it, but for me, I'm so used to thinking of my compositions in terms of my full frame that when I switch to video and the field of view is that far off, it's kind of annoying. However, Blackmagic might have just saved me enough cash to be able to afford that wide-angle lens with the inclusion of 2, 4, and 6 stock ND filters that are just beautiful, and they're built right in. And they don't just give you access to these ND filters buried somewhere on the 7th level of camera menu hell. There's 8 giant buttons on the back of this camera, and the 2 biggest ones are the plus and minus button for the ND filters. Now, before I bought this camera, it was kind of the one feature that was an upgrade from the Legacy 6K that I could have really cared less about. I was certain that these filters were going to be gimmicky and have a god-awful color pack.